MidPoint continues. Welcome back, a valued member of the Intel team here. Former CIA analyst Lisa Ruth joins us in the studio. We got a lot to get through here. Just to go ahead and bring everything into today and what's going on today. This is incredible. It comes so fast. Baghdad, first of all, how close is it actually to Baghdad being infiltrated and perhaps even falling?
What I heard today from colleagues in the area is they are on the outskirts, and I've heard numbers from hundreds to thousands outside the capital. However, and what's disturbing to me is I did hear just this morning that there was a suicide bomb that they believe was from ISIS in the actual city. The issue here is a few months ago, even the intel sources were saying, no way could they take Baghdad. They can take everything else. They can't take Baghdad. This really illustrates how strong ISIS is. All these airstrikes, they're still getting weapons. They're still getting supporters. They continue to move in. Their weapons are getting stronger and better. I don't see any indication that Baghdad is safe. It may be for now, but they are certainly moving on it, and they're making progress.
French are now getting involved. They destroyed a convoy in Niger transporting weapons from Libya to Mali. They captured fighters linked to al-Qaeda. Plus, along with that, we then have new terror groups that are popping up. Honest to good. It's like every single day you get a new group. This is called al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula and al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb. It's out of control. They come up with a different set of letters every day.
And these two groups actually they've been around a while, and they're very dangerous. AQIM, which is a lot easier than saying al-Qaeda in the Maghreb. AQIM was involved in Mali. Now, these were the guys who 2 years ago actually took over northern Mali. They held territory, much like ISIS. They held territory and were only removed after the French deployed and were taken out. Again, didn't defeat them, just moved them. This was a group that did take territory. Let's go back to this. This is a group that's very dangerous. They grew out of Algeria, and they have already executed several French hostages. They claim to execute another one, and they're holding more. These groups are out there. They're very, very dangerous. The French getting involved because of Mali, but they were on the ground. They are taking action out there.
Is it a big deal to have the French involved?
The French have been involved since 2012 in Northern Africa. It's a big deal because it actually also takes away from Iraq. One of the problems with the ISIS situation, initially France said, we can't send in a lot of troops. We're already pretty heavily involved in Mali and Northern Africa. The U.S., the world is looking at France to help out with Iraq and Syria. Once these resources start getting spread so thin, again, we're not in good position.
Here we go now. Photographs obtained by the Middle East Review of International Affairs, the Mirror Journal, published on Sunday, supporting claims that ISIS is using chemical weapons against Kurdish fighters in the Kobani enclave. This is frightening.
Absolutely. And this goes back to a July attack in Kobani, the last time they tried to take Kobani. And they found fighters with what appeared to be mustard gas, exposure to mustard gas. And there's a lot of discussion about where it came from. Well, we know, and there's a declassified CIA report from 2007 that talks about the mustard gas stockpiles in Iraq. ISIS, the determination, I just think we can't underestimate what they've taken, how well they are at adapting to whatever they have. They don't play by our rules, and you and I have talked about this with other groups. They don't care. They're not going to stop and go, oh geez, we don't want to use nuclear weapons. We don't want to use chemical weapons. They will use anything at their disposal. And if they can get nuclear weapons, I think we really need to pay attention to this situation. Chemical weapons are bad enough, but what else is out there? What else can they get?
About a minute or so we have left. You bring nuclear weapons into it. There's now a report that Vladimir Putin is moving tactical nukes into Crimea. How frightened, how alarmed should we be? And what is it that we can do? Because we, NATO, no one's doing a thing. It just moves on in.
And the point about this is he authorized this on August 14th. This is not a brand new development. And yet, I didn't see a front page headline screaming about it. I don't know about you. This problem goes back to the fact that despite what Obama said at the NATO meeting, that we refuse to recognize that Putin has taken Crimea, we have ceded Crimea. The world has effectively ceded Crimea to Putin. There is all this talk about sanctions. Nothing is about Crimea or giving back Crimea. It's about the belligerent actions now. But the bigger overriding thing is Putin does not care. Back to those rules and not following. Putin does not care what the world says. He is going to continue to maneuver to protect himself and his territory and put out threats wherever he can. I think this is a big deal, and I don't think we'll do a thing.
And we talked about it on the break. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait for another time to actually get into this, but we said it right. The president keeps telling us, and everybody keeps telling us, we don't want to play whack-a-mole. They're not playing whack-a-mole. They're playing with a hydra here. They cut off a snake's head, and it grows 2 or 3 more right here. But they are just doing this. It's that piecemeal that they're doing right now.
Where's the strategy?
There is no strategy whatsoever. We have one. We'll unfortunately have to keep detailing the fact that they have none. That's going to be ours. Lisa, Ruth, always a pleasure. Thanks
Great
so
to
much
be
for
here.
coming on.
Thank you.
As always. Later on this hour, unrest in Hong Kong appears ready to boil over, and an expert in Chinese studies has a distinct warning for what may be about to happen on the mainland. After the break, the holiday we celebrate and the reasons why it perhaps should be banished into the annals of history. Columbus Day, gone forever? We'll talk about it right here on MidPoint.